Hello, I'm Declan Brown, and the aim of this media interaction is to investigate the history of Apple's advertising campaigns and what techniques are used by Apple to sell their products. I have gathered important information by interacting with Apple's advertising through viewing multiple Apple commercials, conducting in-depth research into previous advertisements produced by Apple, and interviewing experienced employees and technicians of Apple and their products. Apple makes use of a multitude of persuasive techniques in their advertisements. These include creating an image, the implication that using the product will make you more attractive, wealthy, respected, or part of an elite group. Slogans such as "Think Different" and "The Computer for the Rest of Us", the use of the Apple logo to associate the product with the brand. And product placement. One of the most beneficial forms of advertising for Apple has been the brand loyalty that has been generated in Apple products over the years. The original Apple computer, made in 1976, was mainly aimed at technological enthusiasts and professionals, as they were the only people who owned home computers at the time. It was advertised through print media, describing the specifications and details of the computer's performance. Apple's first large advertising campaign aimed at the general public was for the Apple II. The purpose of these initial adverts was not only to sell the products, but, as home computers were a relatively new phenomenon, actually convince families that they needed a computer. Apple needed to create a perceived demand for their product. To do this, they produced pamphlets and full-page adverts using comments like, "The familiar typewriter-style keyboard makes communication easy," to illustrate the ease of transition to this new device. Apple highlighted that features could be used by the entire family, such as an educational tool, a tool for inventing your own games, and even organizing your household finances. 1983 to 1984 were two of the biggest years in Apple's advertising history. They released the acclaimed 1984 commercial for Macintosh.
With one will, one resolve, one cause. Our enemies shall...
The 1984 commercial suggested that if the Macintosh computer was not purchased by the audience, the world would be like George Orwell's novel, 1984. Obviously, this is an exaggeration, but it played off a common fear shared by many people at the time. After the release of the advert, 5 new ads were released, initiating the "It's Easy" message. The ads were aimed at a new target audience, the ordinary, everyday consumer who wanted an easy-to-use product, rather than just families. The portability of the product, how easy using the new mouse was, and the humor integrated into the ads made the product appealing. The slogan,
Macintosh, the computer for the rest of us,
was designed to associate a sense of community with the Apple product. Apple was the inventor of the iProducts, the first of these being the iMac in 1998 and then the iPod. iPod has become the generic term for a personal music player, promoting Apple's products by association. The initial iPod commercials, aired from 2001 to 2008, were very distinctive. They featured the iconic dancing silhouettes, with upbeat modern music, while visually highlighting the iPod. The use of "I" at the start of the name was both to personalize the product and, in the case of the iMac, to emphasize its internet capabilities. The latest Apple device, the iPad, is promoted through a combination of different advertising types. Apple has highlighted the functionality of the product, giving examples of everyday uses such as this.
Just scroll around here and look at the whole front page of the New York Times.
According to Viano Jaska, the NextByte area manager for education, corporate, and government, Steve's keynote presentations announcing the new products have become iconic and remain the single most effective ingredient in the development of Apple hype. Steve Jobs highlights many aspects in his presentation, including tech specs and the environmental footprint. Now, a word about product placement. Apple in 2006 said that they do not pay for their product placement and would not discuss how their products make their way into television and film. A 2005 study conducted by PQ Media found that 64% of products placed in television shows or films were not paid for. Instead, it was arranged so that the show or film provided exposure in exchange for products or services. Apple's design is also important for their product placement. In some TV shows, even though the Apple logo is covered, the viewer can still recognize it as an Apple product. From my interaction with Apple's advertising, I have found that the techniques they use are very consistent. Through interviews with experienced Apple employees and technicians, I have discovered that the exclusive image associated with Apple products has been constructed through the use of the Apple logo, various slogans, and the names of their products. Because of Apple's campaigns, Apple enthusiasts feel as though they are part of a community of loyal customers, which values design and high-level functionality. In the end, for Apple, image is everything.